What's going on, everyone? In this video, I want to break down exactly how to go from 0 to at least 25K a month, or at least the way that I did it over the last few years. By the end of the video, hopefully you'll have more of an idea of how you could do it as well without having to work a regular job, without having to go to college, without really having to have any kind of certifications or degrees or licenses or anything like that. So the path that I did it through was high ticket sales. Now, at the time when I started, I didn't even realize that I was in sales. I knew that I was selling something, but I didn't recognize that I was working in sales. I thought I was just like doing an online side hustle that I had heard of. I was in high school, I was 16 years old, I had tried drop shipping, I had tried reselling, I had tried starting an agency, and I don't know, a few other things that honestly have slipped my mind by now just because I tried so many other things. Like probably a lot of you, if you're watching this video, I had like shiny object syndrome. I was like spastic, jumping from business to business, new idea to new idea. Anything I could do to get my hands on money, I wanted to do. Now, at least as long as it was legal. But I tried so many different things and none of them were working. And now I realize, looking back, if I could just have shaken myself in the head and said, dude, focus on learning a skill instead of trying to start a business and you will make way more money and actually like be successful, I would have done it, right? So I'm telling you right now, focus on a skill. Focus on something that's tangible, that's directly tied to making money. That's why sales is so powerful. You are the vehicle, the thing between the business and their customers. Do you understand how powerful that is when you're selling something expensive? We're not working for T-Mobile selling phones. We're not even like knocking on doors selling pest control or selling solar or anything like that. Like we're selling expensive online services. Okay, coaching and services. These are the things that actually make money. These are the things that businesses are printing cash online with right now. And so if you can insert yourself in those, you will make a ton of money as a salesperson. So going back to my story, I was 16, started that, was selling for a guy who had a drop shipping program. He was teaching people how to do drop shipping. I was like, you know what? I've tried this in the past, even though I failed. He knows what he's doing, so let me sell this to people who are looking to get into it. He basically creates all the content online, gets a bunch of people interested, gives me a chance. I start taking sales calls for him, selling his $500 program. These people are jumping on with me. I'm answering their questions. I'm bringing them through what I thought was a good sales call. It wasn't, because I was terrible at the time, but now I understand that. I didn't back then. But anyways, regardless of all of that, the fact I wasn't that good, I was young, I was working part-time because I was in high school, had very limited hours. I made $2,900 my first month doing it. I was making $100 per sale and I sold 29 of them, meaning I made $2,900 as a 16-year-old with no job. By the way, never had a regular job. So I had like $1,000 in my bank account at the time because I had been doing reselling these side hustles like I talk about, saving birthday money, different stuff. So I had like $1,000, which at 16 is like, at least you have some money, but then no income whatsoever. I had never made thousands of dollars in a month and I made $2,900. When I tell you I felt rich, I'm not joking, okay? But then after that, I doubled down. I got better at the skill. I found someone else I was working with. I was working with two people at the same time. I started making like 3 to 5K a month. Then it dipped down to like 1,500. The offers kind of died out. And then that's where I got the real opportunity. I turned 17 at this time. I found an even better opportunity to sell a better service and more expensive service that was $6,000. And now I made 10K in a month at 17 years old. 10K in a month, which if you've hit your first 10K a month, you know that that's like the big milestone that like you will feel the best at. 10K a month feels better than 50K a month. Like it's just a fact. And that's because you haven't made that kind of money before and you go make 10K a month. Now you have like spending money and money that you can like go do real stuff with in the real world, right? Like you could afford rent, you could afford a car, you could afford going on trips. And I did some of that, but I was 17 years old, right? So I just kept stacking cash at the same time, stacking cash. Eventually I got to the point where I had a good chunk of money, okay? I was 18 years old, graduating high school, working in sales still on these offers, and convinced my parents I'm not going to college. Convinced them I'm just going to go all in on sales. And I remember I graduated. That's when I found a new role. That role was kind of up and down, and there was extreme FOMO. I was like, dang, all my friends are at college. I'm here grinding away sales calls. and it's not going all that well. Like, I'm doing okay. I'm making like 5K this month, 6K the next month, things like that. But I wasn't making enough, right? Then basically, like, long story short, I won't bore you with all the details, ended up opportunity to opportunity, eventually found one that, like, at this point I had like over 100K saved. I was in a good spot, but this was the one where like my income started being consistently a lot higher. And that's the offer that now I manage to this day. I was a closer for a year and a half, started managing the team. Now I manage closers and setters on the team. And along the way, I've helped a few dozen people one-on-one get into the sales space at the same time. So that's kind of my story for the last like 2.5 years. I've been with this company, just grinding, crushing it. And one thing I can tell you is that sales is a never-ending game. Sales is a game where you should always look back 3 or 6 months and be like, wow, I had no clue what I was doing. Or wow, I didn't know how far I could go if I just applied myself in this way or that way. But one thing I can tell you is that the skill backs it all, okay? The business, the thing you see online, the new business, new hot thing people are talking about, that's not the way to actually build cash flow. That's not the way. Like, the way to actually build cash flow is skills. And businesses can spiral off of that. For example, like, I now coach people in sales, and that can be a business, but that starts with the skill. That doesn't exist if I don't have the skill, okay? I'm telling you, the skill is the most important thing you can possibly focus on. Go learn sales. You will crush it and make more money than you ever thought. That said, if you guys want to work with me directly to learn sales, go down in the description, book a call, or you can DM me on IG. Subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.